Welcome everyone. This is Blockchain Gideon, and today I'll be taking you through the JUP token. Okay, so the JUP token is actually the token that we stake in Jbank that we earn interest or profit from, and also commissions if you choose to build Jbank or you choose to share the opportunity with your loved ones. So we'll dive in more into the blockchain of this contract address that you see on the screen. Okay, so this is the contract address of the JUP token. Remember, anyone can create a token and name it by JUP. So always pay attention to the contract address of the JUP. So you could see the last numbers or figures or digits is what 686A4. And the first four numbers is 0x96. So pay attention to this. This particular token is a mintable token. And on today's call, I will dive into the BSC or the Binance blockchain. It's always important to check, do your own due diligence, go into the blockchain. That's why we love crypto. With the blockchain, everything is transparent and you can see every transaction within the blockchain. So on today's call, it's mainly focused on this special mintable token on the Binance Smart Chain. So what do? We'll go to the Binance Smart Chain. Then first of all, we need to copy this wallet address that you see on the screen. We need to copy it. We need to first copy it. Okay. Then we highlight it, copy it. Then now we go to the Binance Smart Chain. So this is actually the Binance Smart Chain. How do you check? You can just click, use any browser or the search engine, just type BSC scan. Then when you type BSC scan, this will pop up. Then you just have to click on the BSC scan. That pops up. Then you paste the wallet address there. Then you click on the search that you see here. So you click on the search button, then it brings you to this particular page. So in the Binance Smart Chain is a blockchain. You'll be able to see every transaction which is connected to the token, which is called the JUP. So the JUP itself, as we all know, is a future payment token for Jbank staking protocol. So you can see the last transaction was even 38 seconds ago, which was a transfer. Is the contract verified? Is one of the things that you need to check whenever you are joining a staking protocol or a DeFi project. Check if the contract is verified on that particular blockchain. So how do you check it? You come to contract, you see that a stake is verified, you click on it, it brings you here. So what do? All these codes, you cannot read it because you are not a developer. So what do you have to do? You just come here, you see these two boxes, which is the copy source code. You just have to click on it to copy. After clicking on it to copy, you have AI. So what do? You go to your AI. I normally use the Grok. So let's go to the Grok. This is Grok that I use. So what did I do? I copied the same smart contracts and I told Grok to summarize this contract for me. And what did they do? They had to go through thoroughly, check everything, and summarize it in a way that we can be able to read, or those who are not used to the blockchain or the smart contracts, okay, can easily go through and read. Okay, so we scroll down, it's very long, okay, because it's staking protocol. Remember, they copied the Olympus DAO staking protocol. But what they did was that they added certain mechanisms that will help protect the price of the token and also the stability of the staking protocol. So this forms all part of the what? Smart contracts. So I pasted it. It's very long, so you just have to be patient. So this is actually the summary of the smart contract of Jbank staking protocol. Okay, so it tells you everything about the smart contracts. The core token features, you see everything. Remember, I did mention that the token is mintable. So what you earn every day from the staking, you are minting the JEP token. Then there's also a burning. Remember, whenever you are taking a withdrawal for your commission or for your profit, there's when you choose the acceleration days, there are some of the acceleration days that apply or 25% burning fee attached to it. It's all part of the contract. Okay. And you see everything within the smart contract. You see the trading fees. Remember, I did mention that most staking protocols, they normally renounce their staking protocol before they go ahead to land the staking protocol. And per our research or per my research, most staking protocol that renounced, okay, their staking protocol before going public, along the line, when there are some things that they want to add, it becomes very difficult for them to what? To add. Why? Because they have to pause the whole smart contract, okay, and pause the whole community. Then they have to build a new smart contract by adding whatever they wanted to add to that particular smart contract. So it becomes a problem and it kills the momentum of the staking protocol. I do remember there's one staking protocol I joined. They had to add certain features to the smart contract. We had to wait all the way up to 2 months, and up to now, until then, when they came back, the momentum has really died and people are not even interested to even promote it. This same smart contract has a cooling protector. So remember, anytime that people, or let's say the price, or there's too much pressure on the token, selling pressure on the token, that's why they come in, they chip in to add this price protection policies that have been added within Jbank staking protocol. So there's a cooling protector of the price too as well within the smart contract. Other key functions are the set pair, that's where the pair address is matched with the both states. Okay. So all this you can find it. So the important notes or risks that you need to know is that, remember, I did mention that with Jbank, what they are doing is that per their roadmap, for 2027, or their goal or mission for 2027 and beyond, they are looking at reaching out to 10 million users, making their staking protocol fully decentralized, adding their own stablecoin, which is called JUSD, which has been paired into the Pancake Swap liquidity pool. Okay. It also form part of their utility. Then also the DAO governance. Okay, so that was when by then JBank will become fully decentralized and becomes a DAO. So meaning the contract becomes renounced. So remember, anybody that shares JBank with you, their smart contract we all know is not renounced. And why are some professional staking protocol, why do they not renounce their smart contracts? And we'll go through that too as well for you to see the reason why they choose not to make their smart contracts renounce. Okay, because they are preparing towards it. So there will be some challenges, some add-ons that they would like to do before making it renounce. And it makes the whole staking protocol run smoothly and also make it more sustainable. Okay, so the important notes that you need to know is that the contract has a prelim mint rule, which I said you mint the token you earn. Admin can change fees anytime, any day. We all know that it's not renounced. The fee receiver can be called on every sale. Okay, so trigger swap and stuff. Then there's no renounced ownership. Okay, so meaning that we all know that the contract is not renounced, and these are some of the reasons. Along the line, they'll be adding certain features, certain mechanisms, certain rewards that will be given to their community. They'll be adding it to their smart contracts, prepare it to become a DAO so that there's no need for them to pause it when it becomes a DAO or when it becomes renounced. There's no need for them to even add or subtract anything. They prepare a full package of their staking protocol, and they can easily sell whatever they have in their ecosystem to the public. And for those who already stake, you are lucky to be in early because you form part of the key players or the key stakers within the staking protocol. So after doing this, what did I do next? Because I have to do a lot of research, because before you join any project, you also have to do your own research, do your own due diligence. It's very, very important, okay? And remember, what I did, what did I do? The same smart contract, okay, remember the last digit or the last figures is 8684. Then the first one is what, 0x96. Let's go to the PDF and let's cross-check if it's perfect. Okay, so we'll go back to the PDF. This is what you see. This is a smart contract of the JUP. Okay, so you can see it here. It's not that I'm trying to lie or say something that is not real. So on this same graph, I ask this question: can this contract address, which is the JEP contract address, can it be liquidated by the developers? And what did Grok said? Grok said what? No. You can see it here. They said that what? No, it cannot be what? Liquidated. Okay, so they said no, this is not a liquidity pool that developers can liquidate in the usual DeFi sense, and there's no clear evidence that can freely drain it. This is the token, the JEP token. We all know is on the Binance Smart Chain. There's a contract address name. Okay, this is the EVM. It's on the Ethereum. They're using the Ethereum. That's the EVM. Okay, so you see the current balances. You see everything. Can the developers drain or developers liquidate or drain it? Calling standard owner function reverts, because whenever they try, it's not going to work. Okay, so let's go down. Let's read this important distinction. So they said what? Even if the token contract itself cannot be drained by developers, if the developers hold the liquidity pool or any trading pair involving JEP, they can remove the liquidity, classic rock, but this is not what we are actually looking at, or this is not what is going to happen within our staking protocol. You are just given a distinction of what some developers do. But when you look at the bottom line of what they are saying, is that this specific contract address is a regular token with a little value inside it and no obvious working owner control visible via standard calls. It cannot be liquidated by the developers in the way a lending position or unlock liquidity pool can. For final confirmation, check the verified source code. Okay, so they use every details that they need to use to find all sources or codes within the blockchain. Okay, so these are some of the things that you need to know. Okay, you really need to know, you really need to pay attention to it. Okay, and aside from that, remember I did mention that the token is what? Mintable. So what you earn and you stake is minting. You are minting the JEP token. So this is actually what I wanted you to know. Now let's go back to the BSC scan. Okay, so now we've checked the code, we've verified the token, the JEP token. So now let's dive in more into the JEP token. So you click on that. So this is a token. You always have to check the maximum total supply, which is the max total supply. This is the total number of orders of the JEP token. So now let's click on holders. So we click on holders. Now we need to see who are those holding majority of the tokens. So I remember some time back, one of the leaders, okay, contacted me, and what was their worry was they saw that there are this number of wallet that you're seeing, they are holding majority, meaning the developers are holding majority of the token, which I told them that no, you are totally wrong. You are not getting something. When it comes to staking protocol, what they do is that they build smart contracts that handles or that perform certain tasks. So within the same smart contract, they build a smart contract that a group of smart contracts, okay, that perform different tasks. Okay. So when you look at this, when I move the cursor here, it says what? Contract. This one is also a contract. This is also a contract, a contract, a contract, and a contract too as well. Then we also have another contract here. Okay. Then this one is the burning wallet. Okay. So when you do withdrawal of commission and profit, it automatically burn. Half of it goes to the burning, another half has been allocated to the ecosystem of what? The staking protocol. So when you look at this from one, those are the majority of the smart contracts that are holding the JUP token. Okay, so some are for rewards, some are for profits, some are for commissions, some are also for the treasury. Okay, so people don't understand when we say treasury. So every staking protocol has a treasury. So anytime there is a sell-off, a big sell-off, they also swap it to the USDT, the stable coin, then they store it in the treasury. And this same smart contract, when it sees that the selling pressure is it has cooled off, what do? They initiate other buys, okay, of the JEP that helps also the price of the token to grow drastically or grow organically. So what you see here, they are not wallet individual, they are smart contracts performing different tasks within the staking protocol. So these are things that you need to know. And when you go down, you see these are wallet, okay? All these are wallet. So you see the number of people holding majority of the token. So all this that you are seeing are individuals holding the wallet. But majority of the people holding, or the majority of the smart contracts, the majority of them are those holding the token. Okay, so you could see the percentage here. So there are no red flags. There are no developers holding any token. When I zoom here, you see that it's a contract. Okay, how do you dive in? You can just click on the contract, that specific contract. You go down, you see what kind of tasks that they are performing. Okay, so it's not that the individuals or the developers are in control of this contract. All of them has its own tasks that they are performing. So it's something that you need to know and you need to pay attention to. Okay, so we go back to the JEP and I've showed you everything, okay, including the holders of the token, and I've explained everything to you. So this actually brings me to the end of today's presentation. What I'd like to do is to let you guys know that we have something that is actually working. We have something that is actually minting us money every day. In Jbank, you are being paid 3 times a day. Every 8 hours you receive your payment, either for the profit and also for those who are also building, you also receive commission. Okay, and you can swap USDT. When you are swapping USDT to JEP to do your staking, it's free. And when you are swapping from JEP to USDT, okay, that being commission or your profit, then what do? You pay 5% fee of the swapping. So for those who want to participate and want to get this physical card, okay, you have the chance to stake 200 JEP. And when you stake 200 JEP, you're able to get this card, this beautiful card that you're seeing. There are people who have received this. So this forms part of the utility of the staking protocol. Okay, so all you need to know is that Jbank itself is a decentralized banking protocol. They want to bridge the gap between traditional finance and DeFi or Web3. So when you stake the 200 JEP, you get a chance to receive this physical card, which will be shipped to your address. You need to fill in the forms, provide the needed details for them to ship the card to you. You can use this card at anywhere in the world, anytime, any place that accept what Visa transaction. You can also use the same card, okay, to also withdraw cash, your local fiat from any ATM that also accept what Visa transaction. And you can also use the same card for POS transaction and also online payment too as well. So who are these financial institutions that Jbank partnered with? We call them the GAT Pay. So this is a financial institution. It's based in Malaysia. They registered in Malaysia. They have their own SWIFT code, okay, whereby you can also find it here within the PDF. But this is actually their website. You can get all the information there, okay? You can get all the information about this financial institution. You can get it. So how do you get it? You need to download the app too. But the person who shared the opportunity with you, you have to contact that person for the person to give you the link to download. Okay. And this is actually their SWIFT code. Okay. These are the details of the bank. Okay. So pay attention to it. You can also do some wire transaction, which is also good for this space. And they have this Lab 1 FSA license too as well. Who are the other banks, those big banks that also have? We have the Citibank, we have the Bank of America, we have some top banks from the UAE, also from Asia, who also have this Lab 1 FSA license. Okay, so this actually brings me to the end of today's presentation. I do really appreciate you guys for always watching my videos, also liking it, sharing it, and also increasing my viewership. I do really appreciate you guys. So I'll stop, or what I'll do is I'll just stop sharing. And before I stop sharing, there's one thing that I want to share with you. Let's go to the Jbank back office itself. So this is what I want to share with you. So you can see the total amount of mintable token that have been staked so far, which is 2 million. Okay, then we have the total circulating supply. So we are still, if you are in Jbank, you are blessed. If you are not in Jbank, don't waste time. You need to be in, because the time will come, the total mintable staking token, that's for JUP, will be at maybe 10 million. Then the circulating one of the JUP, or the circulating supply of the mintable JUP, will be maybe 2 million. And at that point, what is going to happen? What is going to happen is very simple. Remember, in economics, okay, when there is high demand for a token and the supply becomes less, what happens to the price of the token? The token goes up, okay? So it's better to jump in now. Now the price of 1 JEP is at what? 12.7039. So you can get in now, stake in, and start earning from Jbank. So thank you all for watching. I do really appreciate you. God bless you all. Bye-bye.